So how do you know if you truly care about wellness and personal and spiritual growth, or if it's just a fad? Anyone know about teenagers, the adaptive child part people? So when I, Maria, at IHP talk about teenagers, it's not the actual ones, although the actual ones are just as, well, idiotic as the ones that I met when I was a teenager. But the difference is I learned how to be a imperfect perfectionist, and I am still the same personality pattern with the same temperament. No, I'm growing up. Personal and spiritual growth are fun for the real spiritual people, for the ones who are just copying each other and acting badass. So this is why liar, liar, pants on fire. When you meet a person who is basically with a charge, so that means they're emotionally immature, they're insecure. And their usual badass, quote unquote, charge is simply put self-righteous contempt, bit of anger that isn't a grown version of them just saying, people use words, people do things, and we don't have to dish it out or keep it or whatever, like when you move into complete spiritual growth and personal growth, you really have this thing called, I can talk about anger and sadness and fear and disgust and surprise, because they're not charged in a way of you holding contempt towards someone. So people who do wellness as a fad, it's a Zen master who's going to still have laundry, as he pointed out. No one can be enlightened. Or some other dude who's a cynic who says you can't be enlightened, it's a trap. And he just wants a world where it's about what is right and not what feels right. And in the meantime, you get to see all his feels all over the place, and women who think that they know shit. So in some women think they're empowered by saying, women win, remember when they fuck you, don't think it. Empowered women know not to think shit, because that's why we're empowered, and empowered men also don't think shit, and empowered days. So when someone's wedding bells, no, actually ignorant, not empowered men and women and theys. There's very much that they don't know about, since it's the year 2025, and there's people who still think the medieval times will come back to life. Yes, that's called, they're not really aware that it's not gonna happen. The past doesn't repeat itself, even though the ones who don't learn from the past definitely have a habit of thinking that the same mechanisms work, which is why they're unsuccessful as entrepreneurs, as any type of 4D, 3D leader. So when you see ignorant, mediocre people, you know who they are. And when you do know, if you truly care about your wellness, it means you might not like that you have to do physical exercises, moderately eat, moderately drink, all the common sense stuff, but you do it because otherwise, that's kind of like your health. And so personal and spiritual growth, it's not a fad for those of us who are getting to be ourselves authentically. Tune on in and Bento Vagal State. It's all about love and being yourself.